could I show you something cringier than what we were just watching? Yeah, I can. You know how? You know how I can show you something cringier? Trump did a fucking live stream with this dickhead, and they had a little weird audience. He let some maggots in, and they kept him behind a rope. Look at the rope. Look at they penned him off. They finally let some of the dipshits that hang around outside across the street and wave at him every time he goes. They let them into Mar-a-Lago, and they're all behind ropes. And the angle, I mean, what a great camera angle. It's so awkward and off-putting and uneven and strange. And yes, even, I guess you could say, sad. This is House Sparks Mega Worldwide. Share the show. Please let people know that you're here. Like, subscribe. And if you're on Facebook or any of those sites and it gives you the option to do emojis, do something awful. Apparently, they don't like the happy ones. They only like it when people are upset. That's the problem with Facebook. So use the angry emoji on Facebook, if you will. It's really helpful. And what else? And I feel like I should have the emote wall in here at some point. Yeah. I don't want to overload things. Maybe at some point I'll put fuck it. Do I really care? Am I really worried? I don't think so. At this point, is this the greatest live stream ever? I don't have to worry about anything. What am I worried about? I'm not worried about anything. Come on. Screw it. I'm just going to, it's just add the emote wall. There you go. And there you go. And in here, there it is. And I'll just put it, there you go. An emote wall right there over them. And then on this side, I'll shrink it down a little bit. See if I can. Yeah, there we go. So on the Instagram, they don't feel like they're missing out. So that people on Twitch, if they're just sick, I might have to turn it off if it gets too carried away. But I might not, because this is the greatest live stream ever. So at this point, what are you going to do? Twitch, have at it. It's just, look. We live in the dumbest simulation. This is the weirdest election cycle ever. This is the dumbest fucking interview he could possibly do. Right? So let's see if this dipshit actually asks him a question. And look how uncomfortable, well, you can't because the emotes. All right, I'm going to hide the emotes for a minute, but give me a break. Here you go. I will bring them back at some point. I'll let you review it. I don't worry. Believe me, I can still bring it back. It's so good. It's so good, though. One of these days, I'll have an AI thing that will cut out those guys and just put the emotes behind them. You know what I mean? So I can superimpose a background, and so it won't. But look at his fucking face. Look at his uncomfortable, I don't know how anything works, grandpa getting his phone fixed by one of the kids at Christmas, stupid fucking face. Look at him. Look at him. I don't know how any of this works.
You're probably like, what the heck is going on here, huh?
What's going on here?
I don't know what's going on here. What are all these people doing here? How did this riffraff get in here?
What's going on?
Well, today is going to be the most important stream I've ever done, first of all. Wow. And I want to say thank you for doing this, seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's only because you don't have a show like mine, which, every stream is important. And I don't phone it in like you do, apparently. You starfucker.
Get some good ratings today.
We're going to get some good ratings. Everyone
Nah, pretty much, it seems like so far, par for the course.
thought this was going to be fake today, but, we proved them wrong. So.
It is. He's not really that color orange. He doesn't actually have hair on the top of his head. He doesn't know any of those people. He doesn't actually like you. The tie's made in China. What do you want?
He's right in the living room of Mar-a-Lago.
Jesus, hold on. I got to turn this up because I don't know what.
I don't allow this to be ever done. So you're the.
Okay, we're at the essence of discomfort here. This is Trump pissed off that there's this riffraff in the living room of Mar-a-Lago. Also, not a living room. That's not a living room. That's one of the bar rooms where the people gather. It's one of the party rooms. It's not a living room. They didn't move the fucking furniture out, you asshole. It's a blank floor like the theater is, the little, I don't know, whatever ballroom is. Yes, it's a yet another event space of a different size. This is not a home. It's not a home.
What's going on here? What's going on?
Well, today is going to be the most important stream I've ever done, first of all.
Wow.
And I want to say thank you for doing this, seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Get some good.
You get some great ratings as soon as you turn his mic on and this guy's down, I guess.
Good ratings today.
We're going to get some good ratings. Everyone thought this was going to be fake today, but, we proved them wrong. So.
No, you're right in the living room of Mar-a-Lago, which I don't allow this to be ever done. So you're the first, just about.
Thank you.
I don't allow this ever to be done. You're the first, just about. So apparently you do allow it, and he's not the first, and it's not a living room. What an asshole.
And we'll have a little fun today. And
do
my
it.
son Baron says hello. He's a great young guy, but he's a big fan of yours.
What's up, Baron? Yeah, Baron's awesome. He's a great kid. Amazing. He's tall.
Great guy.
Very tall.
He's tall, good student.
Yeah, he's very
boy.
smart. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is.
I do want to first off, say this.
There's a reason why I'm louder than you, because, bro, like, I'm broing so fucking hard right now that I couldn't, like, our mics are exactly the same volume, but I'm so fucking broing right now that my voice is, like, heavier and deeper, and you don't have to bro anymore. You're, like, over the bro hill, so you don't even need to, like, bro up at all, but I'm fucking broing right now so loud.
Everyone in the chat, everyone in this room, everyone loves you. And
Is that why the room is fairly sparse and why there aren't a lot of people in your chat room? Oh, payow!
just want to say you're a true hero for this country, and I really appreciate you. And
Yeah, we expect you to kiss his ass and suck his butthole, or they would have never let you in that room, silly.
yeah, I'm really thrilled we could do this
Wow.
today.
I'm so happy now that I'm doing it. give me a hand. That's great.
Give me a hand. That's great.
Do you know what live streaming is on these platforms?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
More or less.
More or less.
It's the new wave.
It's the new wave. It's the new wave. I'm gonna explain it to you, all right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you this chat right now. Let me show you this.
Oh,
So this is
fuck
the live
me.
chat. So you're
What? Oh, these people here? Oh my God. This is like me explaining my show to my mom while she's FaceTiming me during my show.
we broke the website in 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
you broke it. The chat wasn't working, but we ended up fixing it. It's just very slow.
You broke Spotify. You broke the Jan Sixer's hope for a normal future. You broke Jenna Ellis's law career. You broke Rudy Giuliani, and you broke my chat room, which was largely because the internet here at Mar-a-Lago sucks assholes.
Hello. Everyone in the chat say hello. You guys can put hi in the chat, and
Yeah.
W's mean it's good. W means win.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. So
It also means white power and West Side. It can be a bunch of things, especially if you're in,
they're
the Nick Fuentes cul-de-sac.
they're putting W's and stuff. Yep. W Trump. All right. So yeah, everyone is just super
Oh,
thrilled.
you're gonna have big ratings today. I can see it.
Yeah, I want to break 1 million. I think we could do it.
Oh, good. Oh, you'll do much more.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
I mean,
excited.
No. He's got 4.4 million subscribers. It had 423,000 views. Nothing to sneeze at. Who the fuck am I with my little channel? I mean, it is the greatest live stream, but in deeper and more abiding ways than just sheer bot farm numbers. Uh-huh. Yeah. Feel free to at me, bro. Uh-huh. I'm double gunning it. Yeah. Uh-huh. Understand? Yeah, I'm serious. I have a real audience of real humans.
I'm thrilled. Elon actually already he commented on the X post that I went live already.
Well, Elon is a great guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's really a fantastic person.
He's great and fantastic. So, we're breaking
Good
news.
imagination he's got, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Rockets and tunnels and
Yeah.
everything. He's
Rockets and tunnels. He's got the same imagination as Madeline Kahn in History of the World Part 1.
He's a fantastic guy.
He's great. So let's get started today. Let's have
But is he? But I know he's fantastic. But is he great? And if he is great, is he fantastic though?
some fun.
Let's go.
We'll touch base on some topics, and then we'll do some fun stuff.
Sounds good.
Cool? Let's have a
go.
good time. All right, well, the first thing is, the reason why, I really wanted to make this stream happen is because there's a lot of
Because I was wearing the suit anyways, and I wanted the hat.
people that are first-time voters watching today. And I want to make it very clear to everybody that you're a human being, you're a great human being. I want you to basically talk in this camera, talk to them and explain why it's very important as a first-time voter to go out and vote and why they should vote for you.
I'd love to do that, and I love having a young audience. This is young. I think you
Ew.
have some oldsters, too, because I also know some oldsters that are listening and watching. But
Oldsters. Youngsters and oldsters. 'Cause that's a word.
it's about the American dream. Right now, you don't have the American dream. We have.
No, if we had the American dream, these people wouldn't be trapped behind a velvet rope in a place they will never get to visit or eat at the omelet bar, even though it's shittier than the Waffle House they go to on the regular. But they all got a hat. I don't know what they're bitching about.
A country that's not respected, a country that's being laughed at, a country that just a little while ago were having a stock market explosion in a negative way as opposed to a positive way.
Hold on one second. We're going to back up to that. Don't think I'm missing the point that his audio sucks and it keeps going up and down as they're trying to work this shit out, which is just... I think that's Felix, or as he calls him, X, running that shit. So pressure's on. Maybe wasn't the best day to bake up before work, Felix. I'm just saying. You got some real Aaron Carter vibes going on there, buddy, and it's not helping.
That's not respected, a country that's being laughed at, a country that just a little while ago were having a stock market explosion in a negative way as opposed to a positive way.
A country that was not so long ago having a stock market explosion in a negative way, not a positive way. You mean today?
And that's been happening for quite a while. It's been simmering and really happening for quite a while. And
Except it hasn't.
we're going to make this country so strong and so great. And when you're ready for your job, you're going to get a great job, so you can make the kind of money
Yeah, not a black job, though. I mean, come on. We know who the audience is.
this guy's making, maybe even more if that's possible.
I'm
Right?
trying to get like you, boss.
But you'll
Broke? Under indictment? I just want to be like you, boss? Are you fucking nuts, dude? You actually have money. You don't want to be so far in debt you can't escape to people who murder people by shoving them out of windows.
You'll love your life and you'll be successful. And at a young age, it's really wonderful to think about the American dream. And with Kamala and Joe, I took him out. We had a debate, and the debate didn't go so well for him. And they sort of, what they did, it was really a coup of somebody. He had 14 million votes. He had it. And all of a sudden, they went to him and they said, "We don't want you."
And this dude is totally Beavising right now. He's like, he's saying the same thing that he says at the rallies. Yeah, I'm sitting right here and he's saying oh, this is exciting. This is exciting. Say that thing about the thing. Shut up, dumbass.
Running anymore. And it's sort of like a prize fight from my standpoint. Here, you're focused on this one man.
Right.
And all of
I love that they moved the mic closer and it's still going in and out. Because it's louder and it's so nice. Now, I know I'm casting aspersions, the kind that you can throw when you're standing on top of the greatest live stream in the history of the world. Can you dig it?
a sudden, you're fighting somebody else. But she's actually worse than.
Tag team wrestling. It's just tag team wrestling. That would be the analogy. Tag team wrestling, and then the other person gets tired or can't go on because they get injured or something, and they tap somebody out because there is somebody waiting in the wings. And you can't you already tapped out your other dude, or you're fighting alone, and so there you're getting your ass kicked. That'd be be a tag team match would be how you describe it. Yeah, just saying.
He is. And you're starting to see that. I think people are going to see that it's going to be very evident. So go out. We want the American dream. We're going to give you the American dream. And you're going to.
No, you don't. Nobody. Hey, fucko. Nobody gives you the American dream. Nobody gives you the American dream. You build the American dream yourself. That's why it's a dream. It's not the American foregone conclusion.
Going to be real happy.
You lazy fuck in your Chinese tie.
Thank you.
I have another question. And
Thank you. What do you think you're doing? Addressing all the troops and ships at sea in World War II?
The American dream, and you're going to be real happy. Thank you.
Yeah, Trump over and out. How does this work? Do I have to say 10-4?
I have another question. And again, Mr. President, I'm not really fully into politics, but, I'm getting there. And I do want to make this very clear as well, now that it's on my mind. Back when I was I went to high school in California, okay?
Right.
Yeah, years ago. Like half a year ago. Like this year.
And, a lot of the teachers were basically at the time, this is your first term. They were telling me how horrible of a person you are and all these things. And the teachers, you're not supposed to do that. It's inappropriate to have teachers, discuss politics in school. But it
didn't do anything. Obviously, you turned out to be a total Trump buttsucker. So I think it's a good. I think it kind of obviously destroys the talking point that somehow U.S. public schools turn people into robots or teach them how to be. And one of the best ways you can get a kid to not act a certain way is to make his teacher teach him that thing. If you don't believe me, ask all the girls that go to Baptist high schools.
It's becoming really normal for a lot of teachers, and you're a kid, when you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge.
Sure, that's true.
No, not really. When you're a toddler, your brain's like a sponge. When you're a teenager, your brain is like a Nerf gun.
So
It's still slightly spongy, but, used in a different way.
I want to know what your thoughts on that, kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. They're teaching some pretty bad stuff in there.
Yeah, look at the shitheads they're turning out. And this was just during your last term. This is how bad it is that this guy graduated. You know what I mean? Mr. Trump, please answer. But we've got to put a stop to this. How in the hell is this justified?
Been brainwashed to a certain extent. Even the
You're talking to a dude who's wearing your tie and your hat. Fuck, are you talking? That's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Watch.
They're teaching some pretty bad stuff in there.
It's been brainwashed to a certain extent. Even the teachers have been brainwashed. They've learned from a long time. This is long before me. This liberal way, or now they call it progressive. They don't like the term liberal. You're not allowed to use that anymore, so I usually use it. But this liberal.
Also, no, asshole. People are using liberal. Right-wingers are using liberal as a positive again, in a way to attack progressives. Stupid. They're trying to reclaim it themselves, just like liberty and freedom. They're trying to steal the good words that are the opposite of what they do. You don't use liberal, and it's become a bad word around him because it properly describes the function of the Constitution. And that's what they're trying to tear up.
Way that they have, and it's a bad thing for the country. We want to have borders, we want to have low taxes, we want to have great schools, really, great schools, so you can go and learn and be successful and have a wonderful life and all of that.
And all that, whatever people that go to public school do.
But we want to have a good military so we can protect ourselves.
Of course.
From some bad players. You got some bad players out there. And, it's interesting, during my 4 years.
I got to tell you, I'm really, really enjoying the audio on this one. Probably a little more than I should, considering because I have audio issues, but it's just me running the greatest live stream in the history. All right. But this dude, his audio has been hot and tight and punchy and well modulated, and Trump's has been flaky and spiky and runny and drippy. Like what's in his drawers?
Years we had no war other than we had nothing. Everybody was afraid we were going to have wars. And just the
We had nothing.
opposite. North Korea, I remember Barack Obama was telling me, oh, the biggest problem we have is North Korea. I didn't have a problem with North Korea.
No.
They continued to make missiles all during his time in office. You stopped giving a fuck. That's not us not having a problem. That's you siding with them. That's a big problem.
Big nuclear presence, I didn't have a problem. The only war we had was already started long ago, and that was ISIS, and I defeated.
The only war we had was ISIS. Fuck are you talking about? You ran on getting us out of Afghanistan. I can't believe I'm actually arguing policy moments on this. Look, we've all grown so much. It's that kind of live stream, though. It's that good.
Them in a very short amount of time.
I remember.
Very quickly. And we had no wars
I remember, he says. No, you fucking did not.
under the Trump administration. And
What do you, Syria? Anybody? Afghanistan went on unabated. The Russians were still killing people in the Donbass.
that's a great thing. You know, that's a really great thing. It was, I think, 82 years since that's happened. And we won't have wars again, but we could have a war before we even get there. That's the problem. We have a number of months. We have 4 months.
Right.
And
Yeah, you could get World War III in under 4 months if you could really it's going to take crackerjack timing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to tell you, but if we really pull together, we can manage, I think, somehow to make World War III. If we could get it on a schedule, because the whole thing, don't create a plan, create systems. You don't want goals, you want systems. So if we had a system for World War III, we could just make it happen like clockwork, and then we'd be done with it by fucking Black Friday.
the election's starting very soon, and I guess 5 months before you actually get in. And a lot of damage can be done in 5 months by incompetent people. We have very incompetent people right now. And I'm not saying that out of
Running the microphones?
happiness. I'm saying that out of sadness, because our country's in tremendous danger, not only of stock market crashes or depression.
This is so good. It's so good. I know I'm harping on it too much, but this is awesome. This sound is such ass. And it wouldn't be as funny if his wasn't perfect. The only thing I could hope is that the nutbags in the back that hang out on the street outside of Mar-a-Lago just trying to get a glimpse of him are also sitting there, and there's a little monitor there so they can hear what's being said, and their feed of him is just as choppy, so they can barely hear him, and he keeps dropping in and out, but they're not allowed to say anything. God. Oh, this is good.
Or whatever it may be. It's a tremendous military danger. We have
Yeah.
Israel's blowing up, the Middle East is blowing up, Russia's going wild with Ukraine. And
Russia's going wild with Ukraine. They're letting it all hang out. They're going to wash Ukraine right out of their hair. They're going wild. Jesus Christ. Does this asshole think Russia attacked because Ukraine flashed its tits? What an asshole.
things are out of control, and we have nobody that knows how to talk. We have nobody that knows. I was watching when Russia was thinking about going in, and they never would have done it with me. They never, and they didn't. But they never, after I got in, they started
They were already there.
loading up the border. I thought he was doing it for negotiation purposes. And Biden said all of the wrong things, everything wrong. And ultimately they attacked, and they wouldn't have done that if I were president. So
Yeah, that's a lie. I mean, it's just silly. Just a fucking lie.
we got to get back in and get it straightened out. We'll
Definitely.
get that one worked out.
100%.
A lot of people dying.
Yeah, it's a lot of innocent lives being lost. You know, you had mentioned
Yeah, not the Russian ones, though, I would like to say, for the record. None of the Russian ones. None of them. You invade a country, you're not innocent in that moment, especially unprovoked. Fuck off.
you know, the stock market.
By the way, especially if a good portion of them are people who agreed to fight in other countries' citizens, so they could get off of a rape conviction in prison.
Market crashing. I don't know if you obviously, I saw the post you made on your app Truth. You know, what I just saw yesterday and the day before, you know, I'm in crypto and I'm in
Right.
stocks myself.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this explains a lot. This is how he ended up with this. Is okay. So Don Jr. set this up. Barron knows about this guy, but Don Jr. set this up because he's trying to they're trying to boost crypto. And so they're bringing all these people in. They're like, don't worry about it. Don't let it hit rock bottom. When Trump comes in, he's gonna remove all the regulations and limitations on it. He's gonna stop the FBI from being able to break into crypto wallets and shit. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be awesome. And it's not gonna. It's gonna suck. It's just gonna eat it, and everybody knows it. But they're trying to boost it. They're trying to do a pump and dump, essentially. If we can get Trump to go, I'm going to fucking I'll be great for crypto, and we're going to do it here. And I don't know what the fuck he means by that, because crypto farm is crypto farm. You have no control over that whatsoever. But they want him to say that to try and lift the price back up to 70K or higher so they can sell what they have, because they're fucking losing it. It dropped $20,000 in the last, week?
And I couldn't believe what's going on. You know, you have Japan, you have everybody just falling. And I want to ask you, you know, how do we basically get it back up and flow?
Yeah, how do we get the Japanese stock market and crypto back up? You know what I think he's going to say? I'm going to go with drill, baby, drill. I got to go with drill, baby, drill. Yeah, that's probably the answer. That's got to be the answer, because you get the cost of energy down, and all the prices will come down, and then people will have more money to buy Japanese stocks and crypto and Dogecoin.
Back up and running, and
back up and running.
You know, and what's causing this?
Well, right now you have no confidence. You have somebody that now is taking over from Biden because he just wants to stay in bed all day. He can't get up. He wants to stay in bed. It was a fraud. They tried to tell people he was competent. He knew what he was doing. And in the debate, he was adjudged to be not so good.
Yeah.
But you can go back 4 years, too. You know, he campaigned from his basement. He didn't campaign.
Everybody was in their basement, dumb fuck. It was COVID.
I said, where is this guy during COVID? They used COVID as an excuse not to
a reason.
Let him talk.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a fraud, and
he talked a lot. He just didn't go out and do campaign rallies. So he had more living voters by the time the election came around. It was actually a pretty good strategy.
Everybody knew it, and they knew it strongly. And
they're doing their best, man. They're moving the mic around now, dude. It isn't the pointing of the mic.
We're going to get it going again. We have to get it going again. It's
the wiggling of it helps, though.
They put us in a very bad position. The worst thing is we have probably, I think, 20 million people came into our country with open borders.
Okay, so okay, he didn't get around to drill, baby, drill. I was wrong. He went straight. It's, you know, and it wouldn't be the greatest live stream in the history of humankind if it didn't have some moments of disagreement, some controversy. And he decided to go with the reason the Japanese stock market, the European stock market, tech stocks, and crypto have gone down is because of brown people coming into the United States and taking low-wage jobs. I know what you're thinking. Hal, in years gone by, this would be a way that some of these companies would raise their profit margin and lower their costs using undocumented workers, for example, and it would actually raise the value of a lot of things because they were effectively getting this cheap, under-the-table labor. I know that. That's a funny thing. But you have to understand, this is just idiocy.
And many companies.
I blame myself for actually thinking there would be some consistency. That was my mistake. It won't happen again.
From prisons, and you can be a liberal, and your people can be, but coming from some of the meanest prisons all over the world, not just South America, from all over the world,
not just brown people. You might know a couple of those. You look like you might be mixed something. I don't know how to even bring this up, but black people is what I mean. And, you know, obviously there are some good ones. There's Ben Carson. There's Tim Scott. There's the guy in the shirt that says Blacks for Trump, who I won't talk to, but he's there, and he's mine. so I can point at them.
The Congo and Africa, they come.
They're black. Notice it's not like Arab countries. It's not Muslim terrorists or any of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that would be kind of standard bigotry from the Republican side. This is just straight up, black people are scarier than anyone.
From all over the world, they come.
Yeah, right. Not Kamala black, real black, like the really black ones, the ones where you're like, oh, wow, super black, you know? That's what's coming over here. Really? Yeah. You mean the really, like, kind of aquiline features, you know, some of the Congolese women and some of the, you know, like the women that are kind of Egyptian and black or whatever, just they look like goddesses. They're just gorgeous in every way. It's no. They all of them. They all look like George Foreman, circa 1975, and even the women. Oh, and they're all insane. And they don't speak English. They speak languages no one speaks in the whole world, even the country they're from. And they're going to take your job because you're so stupid and unskilled that an insane person who speaks in clicks could do what you do. It's just if you just keep drilling, it's so dumb. And this kid's nervous. He's young. He doesn't know better. He's like, oh shit, a really, really dark-skinned black person is going to come over here and click their way onto YouTube or Kick, because he's jumped right past. Fuck you, Rumble. Eat shit, Twitch. I'm on Kick.
And they're released.
By the way, Kick is a great site to be on. It's an alternative to Twitch, and if you want to get Russian super chats, that's where you go. Just saying.
Releasing their prisoners into the United States. Now,
also, I'm not on Kick.
Now, you can be a liberal guy, you can be progressive as anybody in the world, and you can't think that's a positive thing. No. They're coming out of mental institutions. They're pouring into the United States.
And they're, becoming crypto bros, and therefore it's driving the market down in Japan. Are these people... Are they coming from the Congo and stopping in El Paso and then going to Japan and trading cryptocurrency on the dark web? And that...
And they're hurting and damaging our country, and they're killing our people. And the crime rate with what you're talking about and what we're talking about...
The crime rate of crypto going down? Well, I mean, hey, there is a roundabout way. Crypto is indeed the criminal... currency of choice. The only people who use it as actual currency, human traffickers, drug traders, and gun runners.
Call it migrant crime. It's a new form of crime, and it's a very violent crime. And it's
there's no smart migrants that come in here and do white collar crime. These are all big, dumb, violent crimes. That migrant crime is always like it's just. They just kill you and rape you and rob you in that order.
It's going to take on proportions the likes of which this country has never seen before. And
well, why haven't we seen it already? I mean, if there's that many of them in here, geez, how many of them have to be insane, violent criminals that don't speak the language that are being sent here specifically to destabilize our economy and our way of life? How many? It's got to be a number lower than 20 million. Yes. I'm thinking 50,000 of them would be enough. That's 1,000 per state. You spread those guys evenly throughout the country and in the major cities and minor cities. I mean, there's your army of lunatics. If it ain't happened yet.
Remember, these people are just getting accustomed. These are people coming out of mental institutions.
Oh, they're just getting I see. They're settling in. This is the new excuse as to why the crazy people haven't done crazy shit yet. They're just settling in. They like to get their environment organized. I guess it's the idea that there are no serial killers that don't have also OCD. So they have to get everything in order, have their hyper clean apartment, and get their I'm a normal person, crazy person job. Start wearing glasses.
Prisons and jails, and many terrorists. We're having record numbers of terrorists coming in.
Caught. Record numbers are being caught. We're finding numbers. That doesn't mean they weren't coming in before. It just means they weren't being caught.
So I'm talking, I assume, mostly to a young audience, but
there's some oldsters out
a
there.
young audience, no matter where they're coming from, they can't be happy about this.
No, they can't. Jobs are being taken. A lot of crime. Fix that issue. What if
was that an edit?
I happen to be born in another country and I want to come the right way? How would that work?
Well, that's what we want. We want.
How would I work? You'd get a gene. If you were a hot Slovenian woman, you'd get a genius visa. If you were a unattractive Slovenian genius male, I guess you'd have to hide in the hull of a ship and get a fake social security number so you can work in a pizza parlor mopping.
People to come in, but they have to come in through a system, through a legal system.
Yeah, like a modeling agency when they're 15.
I mean, one of the things that's unfair is we have hundreds of thousands of people that have applied to come in, and this administration doesn't talk to them.
Right.
But if they walk through the southern border, they have no problem getting in. I don't even know why they're doing this, but some people are waiting 10 years to come in, and they've studied. They learned all about the United States, about our Constitution, about everything, and
About everything.
they're not letting.
Yeah, some of them are waiting because they were on a list because the country they were in was a place where there was a lot of violence. They're trying to seek asylum, for example, and you specifically shut them down.
They're not being let in, and we're allowing people to come in from really rough places, really bad.
Yeah, really rough. I mean, chafy places. You know what I mean?
Bad places. And they come in through caravans, and these caravans have 10, 20, 30,000 people. And
No, they don't. Here we go with him 10xing every number.
they're pouring through Mexico.
That's crazy.
I love how he's like, wow, that's crazy. Yes, it is, young man. You've stumbled onto something. That is a specific type of crazy we like to refer to as batshit crazy. The caravans are not 30,000 people. Never have been, never will be. You're a fucking lunatic. That's absurd.
And Mexico was great when I was there. They were helping us. I had stay in Mexico. You can imagine what that is. That means you have to stay in Mexico. You can't come into.
It would be a remain in Mexico, but he has trouble remembering what the phrase is.
This country until we approve you. They gave it up. Now they just walk right in.
Wow.
They had catch and release. We had catch and release. That's you catch a criminal and you release him into our country. I said, no. We catch a criminal and we release him into Mexico. I think you feel better about it.
Also, under Stephen Miller's definition, which is the one he uses, anyone who crosses the border illegally, even if they had an asylum claim, even if they feared for their lives, even if they were waiting and they were like, oh my God, if we stay here a day longer, the cartel people are going to murder us. We got to run. Let's try and cross the border, and then we'll make our case once we're inside, which is a terrible situation to be in, but a genuine plight for human beings. He considers that illegal. That means that the second you cross over the border, you're committing a crime. Therefore, you're a criminal. You're not alleged to be a criminal, which you would technically be if you had an asylum claim and someone was trying to deny you your asylum claim, for example, and you wouldn't have a way of telling anybody until you got into the actual country. That would be where the allegation part would be, an aspect of this. And so what he's saying is essentially that we made people remain in Mexico because they're criminals, because just being here is a crime in and of itself, right? That's where they use. That's one of the reasons why they use the word illegal so specifically.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
It's one of those things. There's so many things. They are so
Yeah, so many things. None of them have to do with your question about crypto or the stock market.
bad. It's like amateur night. It's either amateur night or they want to destroy our country.
Right.
Yeah, one or the other. It seems like amateur night at trying to destroy our country because we're doing better than any country on the planet. Still.
right? Do you
Even with the sell-off, even with the world stock sell-off that's happening right now, we're still doing better than all the other ones.
what do you think about what's going on in Venezuela? The whole situation out there.
Yeah, tell him. Yeah, exactly. The situation in Venezuela. Ask him about that. He'll tell you.
Well, I know it very well, and Venezuela
He knows it very well.
is right now being run by a dictator. We were enemies with Venezuela. Venezuela was going to collapse, and people could have gone back to Venezuela. They're in our country now. They've released tremendous numbers of criminals into our country.
So there's no criminals in Venezuela.
If you look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact, the next interview we'll do it in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's safer
down.
than many of our cities after they've released their criminals into it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. And this dude will have his first experience buying kidnapping insurance. And he'll do a whole stream about, holy shit, I had to buy kidnapping insurance. And I had to have like 8 armed guards everywhere I went because if they'd snatch me and sell me because that's one of the big problems there. Go for it.
Cities.
Yeah.
And I'm kidding.
I know.
The reason I have to say that, because the fake news media knows that too, but they'll say, he suggested they go to Venezuela. They are so bad, it's hard to believe. But anyway, so
So you're fucking around. You don't really mean it.
Venezuela, their crime is down 72% because they've taken their criminal elements, which are large. It was a very dangerous place, especially Caracas and the different cities.
What are the other cities besides Caracas? There's Caracas, and then there's, you know them. I don't have to tell you. You know this very well. You're president of the United States. Caracas and the other one. Caracas 2, The Reckoning.
They've moved them into the United States of America. I know you're very happy.
I know you're very happy. Hold on. Real quick, let's run that back real quick. I'm going to show you something. By the way, hit that like. Hal Sparks, Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, etc., etc., etc. All right, here we go. This is
large. It was a very dangerous place, especially
Caracas.
Caracas and the different cities. And they've moved them into the United States of America. I know you're very happy. I know that your mother and father must be thrilled when they hear that.
Yeah.
Who happen to be here, I believe.
They are. They're right over there. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Are you thrilled with what they're doing? I don't think so. No.
Are you thrilled with what they're doing in Venezuela, parents of kid?
I don't think that.
No. What kind of an asshole would let Venezuelans into the country and then let them stay? That's
They're thrilled.
Uh-huh.
I don't think so. So their crime rate is down 72%.
Right.
Because they're drug dealers, they're criminals, they're murderers, they're rapists. Everything's being moved into the United States. And soon they will have moved all of their criminals into the U.S. They won't have crime. So that's why I say we'll go to Venezuela for our next interview.
There you go. For those of you that might be new, if I may, or maggots or trolls, hi. Thank you, by the way. I haven't thanked the trolls properly in a long time, but bless the trolls for being with us, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't get out into the other parts of the internet. You broadened the algorithm for us in a way we could not do ourselves, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Trump grants Venezuelans temporary legal status on his way out. The U.S. will defer for 18 months the removal of certain Venezuelan nationals. Trump on Tuesday, that would be the last day he was in office, announced he will offer Venezuelan exiles protection from deportation, a move he has considered for years but refused to do until his last full day in office. Trump is using a little-known Deferred Enforcement Departure Program, or DED, to offer temporary legal status to Venezuelans fleeing the humanitarian crisis brought on by Nicolas Maduro's regime. DED, similar to temporary protected status, protects recipients from deportation, allows them to get work permits. However, it is granted directly by the president instead of the Department of Homeland Security. It's sort of think of it as a pardon versus an actual pardon by the system. All right, he just overwrites them. Okay, but all that shit about Venezuela is full of criminals and they're all coming up here. Okay, Trump made sure that any Venezuelans that were here illegally, and by the way, How do you prove they arrived illegally before a certain date or after a certain date? So it protected them from even being asked for 18 months. Good times. And so that's basically the entirety of the Biden presidency, that Venezuelans have enjoyed some form of protected status from being deported, thanks to the last thing Donald Trump did on his way out the door. Do you think he did it because he cares about Venezuelans, or do you think he did it for spite? Or do you think he did it just because he knows that this dumb motherfucker has no idea that this dumb motherfucker signed a Venezuelans get a pass on his way out the door?
Okay. It's a very serious problem. I mean, honestly, what they're doing to this country, they're destroying our country, Aiden. They're destroying stupid people. He's not a smart man. He wasn't smart 35 years ago. He wasn't smart 20 years ago.
Was he smart when you were asked the question about why crypto and the markets are going down and what you would do to remedy it? Sorry, that was my fault. I shouldn't have interrupted. That was what you were saying.
And now he's really not smart.
No.
And you saw that from the debate. I mean, he's really gone down the tubes. And she couldn't even pass her law exam. She couldn't pass her bar exam. And
She did pass her bar exam.
I'm not saying that because I know other people didn't pass their bar exam, but she thought she...
Rudy passed his, and he's just been disbarred. Rudy passed, and Rudy never passes a bar.
never be able to pass it. And this is who we have running our country. It's a shame. She's ultra-left, ultra-radical. I just see where 99 vicious terrorists, when she was, I guess, Attorney General, because she was Attorney General of California, she destroyed California. Her policies have destroyed...
Yeah, it's not there anymore. I don't know if you've been to California lately. It just does not exist. I mean, in the time he's talking about, it went from being the 7th largest economy in the world to the 5th. But other than that, gonzo.
California. Her policies, when she was the district attorney, have destroyed San Francisco. San Francisco was the best city in our country 20 years ago.
No. No, it was not. Chicago has been and is. Fuck you.
And now...
San Francisco's lovely, but it's always been a mess. Go watch Escape from Alcatraz.
Now it's, not even, frankly, it's not even livable. We have to bring our cities back. We're going to have to focus on bringing our cities back.
It's actually really sad,
How? Federally? So what, federal takeover of states and cities? I'm sure Republicans will line up to sign legislation that allows you to do that.
I lived in California for a long time, even Los Angeles.
And look at the crap California is turning out. See what I mean? Just sad, right? You're making a good point. He's telling everybody, I was raised in California. I was educated in California. It's absolute shit. They turn out the dreck of the country. It's just bad. And it's only getting worse. It's not me talking. That's him talking. I'm just saying.
It's not safe. It's not safe. Everyone I know that lives in multi-million-dollar, homes that do what I do, content, they're getting robbed.
Yeah. All you guys.
They're getting robbed. The police
by their friends.
don't really, they're not.
What do you mean? You, Hassan, Jimmy Dore,
active out there as they are in some other states, and it's really sad. And I agree. I saw a video in San Francisco where people.
Whoa, dude. And people think he doesn't know what's going on. He saw a video of San Francisco, guys. That's just as good as being there. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. How? Weren't you there just a couple months ago? Uh-huh. Weren't you there a couple months before that as well? Yes. And it's fine.
Just walk into a Louis Vuitton and an Apple store and just loot, and leave like nothing ever happened. It's crazy.
No, in the video, nothing happens because the people aren't going to open fire on people for stealing bags. Later, they were arrested as part of an organized crime gang, and they went to jail. Real quick. Hold on. Oh, boy. Open this one up in one link. Dude, I saw this video about a video of a guy, and this video of this dude who's a video, like I saw a video and nothing happens. Guilty pleas in huge Bay Area retail theft ring ringleader gets 6-year prison term. 5 people pleaded guilty in one of the largest retail theft ring busts in California history. California Attorney General Rob Bonta on Friday announced the sentencing during a press conference outside a Burlingame CVS store. He said that 5 pleaded guilty to participating in a multi-million-dollar theft scheme targeting Bay Area retailers, with charges including conspiracy to commit retail theft, receiving stolen property, money laundering, along with an aggravated white-collar enhancement of over $500,000. This is the dude, by the way. This is the Danny Drago, for real, is the ringleader behind it. This is what his setup looked like. They would send in these groups that he's talking about. This is exactly what he's talking about. 5 defendants were arrested in September of 2020. During the operation, law enforcement seized about $8 million in merchandise stolen from retailers such as CVS, Target, Walgreens, as well as 85,000 U.S. currency from the defendants' warehouse, residence, and storage facilities. We believe we have the key figures behind this operation. This is just one of them. Here's another one. 9 subjects charged in $1 million smash and grab robberies in San Francisco. 9 suspected shoplifters facing felony charges in a string of shameless retail thefts of more than $1 million in merchandise from San Francisco shops. Prosecutors said a group of up to 40 thieves stormed into a Louis Vuitton store across from San Francisco's Union Square on Friday, smashing windows, grabbing whatever items they could. These brazen acts will not be tolerated in San Francisco. This is Chesa Boudin. He got, by the way, punted because he was going too soft on folks. But the problem is bigger than our city. Last week, there were similar incidents in Walnut Creek, Hayward, Oakland, San Jose. This is the entire general area. These are the folks. This is the video he's talking about. These are stills from it where people are popping in. They arrested 9 of the 40, then they got a few more. Retailers lose about $65 billion annually to organized theft, and criminals, flash mobs are growing trend nationally. One similar large-scale thefts have occurred in Chicago as well. That's where you see the rest of the videos. This is thieves steal $100,000 in Louis Vuitton merchandise by walking to store while guard is on break. This video was all over the fucking internet. A bunch of these people have been arrested already as well. Just letting you know. Like this whole, dude, nothing ever happens. In the fucking video, Jesus Christ. If you only saw the video of a violent act or a theft or a car crash or whatever, you'd go, and nothing happens. Like, the dude doesn't get taken to court. We don't get to see the trial.
They loot, and not only that, they have like $1,000 or $1,500, where she started, where she won't even prosecute if it's less than $1,500.
Wow.
So you see these people go in with like calculators, and they're adding the stuff that they're stealing because they won't be prosecuted. So that if they get dabbed, they say, no, it's less than whatever it is, $1,000.
Right.
And she started the
Horseshit.
concept of that, and it's now spreading. Our country, we need strong leadership. We didn't have stuff like this.
Also, how does the federal government, unless these theft rings cross state lines, how do you affect any of it? You can't.
You know, when you look at what's happened to this country, and you look at other countries, crime
We're way better off than they are.
rates all over the world are down. You know why?
No, they are not.
Why? Because they're all dumping their bad people, their prisoners, and all of the people that are bad. They're not only the people on the streets, the people that are in jails. You know what they save by doing that? But they're dumping
They're dumping their criminals, not just to get their criminals away from their country, but they're doing it into the United States to save money. Now they could dump them into the next country over with the same effect and just shoot them, I guess. Right? I mean, a lot of them, couldn't they just put them all in a boat and sink the boat? Or this is an act of war? Because if that's what you're saying, if he really believes this shit, for real, if he really believes this, he's saying this is an act of war. This kid's Adin something? He goes by, it's Adin Live on here. Adin Ross is his name.
prisoners and their criminal elements. They're dumping them into the United States of America, and our crime is going to go through the roof.
When?
It's going to go through the roof. And
why is it going down then?
you know, if we win, and I hope we win, we should
Nope.
win, We seem to be winning, and you can't even imagine that anybody would want these. This has nothing to do with me. Who would want these?
If you seem to be winning, why is the stock market her fault?
These people? But can you imagine? They're just.
I mean, I gotta say, all the stock market problems happen when you pass the window of where you could dump JD Vance, and you're committed to having this kid, this asshole as your VP, and you can't get out of it.
Getting comfortable now, and they're criminals, so they're sort of laying
They're getting comfortable.
low a little bit now.
That's what they are. They're crazy, but they're not so crazy that they don't know how to lay low and blend in, act normal.
Because they're not comfortable, but soon they'll be comfortable.
Comfortable enough to make you uncomfortable.
And they'll find that our police they're great.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to do their job. They're not allowed to be strong, and they could do their job if they were let. But if they do their job, they have their pension knocked out, they have their car taken away,
First of all, why do you think their job is to harm innocent people?
family taken away, their house taken.
Because that's really the only time it happens. Is massive uses of excessive force. Like, it has to be so fucking over the line.
Away, everything's taken away, and they lose their job. It's
Also, let me remind you, this is still the answer to what are you going to do about crypto and the Japanese stock market?
a very rough thing being a policeman today, I'll tell you. But they could do the job. We're going to have to let them do their job. We have a crime-infested nation. We're a drug-addicted nation, and we're a crime-infested nation. Other than that, we're doing quite well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I don't hang out with normal people. I just have a house full of hangers-ons, and we make videos. So
I want to move topics a little bit here. I
move topics.
I saw.
Aiden is a boy of Andrew Tate. So it started like it was happening in the UK, like Farage coming over and Orban. I wouldn't doubt it, Poo Picker Upper. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Super chat's a great way to support the show. Patreon.com/HalSparks. Also, like, subscribe, memberships. I'm just saying. And on Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe and it doesn't cost you a dime.
I'm unfamiliar with exactly what it was called. You were speaking on stage with three other women, and you just got ambushed.
Black women.
They were late, and not a hot.
They were not late. They weren't late. They were not late. Those women were there as long as he was. They just weren't bitching. He didn't want to be live fact-checked.
Hi, hello, how are you? Just straight into it, just straight trying to rip you.
She literally thanked him for the time he was giving, and went, and they didn't want to waste their time because I think she had a feeling he wasn't going to last the whole hour.
You apart, and I think you handled it pretty well, but I wanted to ask you a question, like, why do you think, like, they just
Why do you take shit from these black ladies? I mean, come on.
straight up do that for you, but then they're going to ask the other side, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's right. Well, no. Well, I did this as a favor. This was the black journalists.
I did this as a favor. Yeah, you did, didn't you? You know, black journalists don't deserve to be spoken to, okay? I was doing them a favor, okay? They didn't earn that. Think of it as a DEI interview, you know?
The room had maybe 2,000. It said 2,000. It looked more like 1,000 to me, but whatever it was packed.
Yeah.
And I did
Is that a black is slimming joke or something?
it because I thought it was a good thing to do. And they had a journalist, I didn't know who she was, but she was
Yeah, he did, by the way. He knew who Rachel was. He knew Rachel Scott was because she's the one who called out Putin, and believe me, they knew.
nasty. She was a terrible person. And
She's a lovely human being.
I walk in, and instead of saying, hello, thank you very much for doing this, they also said, Kamala's going to do it. But then Kamala.
Right, not at the same time, though. She's doing a different organizational meeting later in the fall.
Said,
And it's Kamala.
she wants to do it because she can't talk to people. She can't answer questions. She hasn't done one interview. She's not doing any interviews.
Yeah.
Because if she did.
Oh, yeah, she is. She's interviewing her VP choices and going through a quick but thorough vetting process something you might have thought about before you picked a guy who literally looks like a youth pastor from Indianapolis who just had his hard drive seized by the FBI.
One interview where a hard question's asked, she's incapable of answering it. But I walk in and there's one.
Oh, you mean like what would she say if? Well, just spitballing. What do you think she would say if somebody asked her like, "How do you stop the fall of crypto and help out the Japanese stock market?" I'm such an asshole. But you know what happened? You know why? You know why I'm such an asshole? I know why. It's because I have the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. And this is singularly by itself the best live stream that has ever happened in the history of humanity. So if you don't like it, then you're fake news, I think, is clearly.
Starts talking about, she talked about, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. And she starts talking about racism and everything. I said, you didn't even say hello to me. And I'm doing them a favor by doing this. I'm doing this.
She literally shook his hand, said hello, and before she sat down. Hold on. Real quick. I mean, this is just fucking aggravating. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, and hi, chat room, if I may. Let's go back to here. We'll go to here. What I'm going to do is, let's see, Trump and ABJ. This is the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. He comes out. This is the stupid music. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm going to drag this down. And then chat room, here you go. If I may. Hit that like, by the way. And thank you, Poo Picker Upper and Dr. 13 for the super chat. Remember, trolls don't matter, actual votes do. That's true. One of the toughest things maggots have to deal with is the fact that even no matter how many flags you have on your truck, you still only have one vote. It's got to suck, man. And to know that everybody who isn't voting for Trump is just dressed normally. The only way you know somebody's going to vote for Trump is if they're wearing the shirt or they're wearing the hat. If they're not, you can just assume they aren't voting for him. Anyway, so this is the beginning. This is where he walks out with this music that Don Jr. picked while he was fucking blazing rails. Yo. Thank you. She said, Rachel Scott, thank you for coming this evening. Thank you. And kind of no applause.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing.
So she said, thank you, welcome, before she sat down. And then she starts, because it's a panel, and she goes, thanks for giving us an hour of your time.
President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time.
He stayed for 32 minutes.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time.
He stayed for 32 minutes. All right. We so appreciate you giving us an hour.
Out of respect to the black community. And we're
I went there because I don't have to.
getting record numbers, as you know, in the black community. And she came across, she's with ABC Fake News, which is one of the worst. ABC is one of the worst.
Right.
And she
Why?
is horrible.
Why?
So she was very nasty. Harris Faulkner was there. She was excellent. The other person I didn't know, she was okay. I wouldn't say she was great, but she was okay. But I did it, and it was quite a sensation. Actually, a lot of people think it was well handled. The woman was so rude.
So rude.
That, it's hard to believe. You can walk into a...
Oh, so rude to just ask you about. How rude do you have to be to ask someone about all the racist shit they've said and done that you can prove? And, if she'd really been terrible, I think she probably should have brought up the Apprentice tape, I think.
And I do them a favor, and I do this. Most people...
I do them a favor. I don't have to show up for black stuff.
Said, why are you doing it? I feel I have an obligation to do it. I want to look with it. You become the president for all of the people, not
Right.
for a certain segment.
Correct.
Not even for...
Well, the governors that like you.
Just my, they talk about my base, it's a very big base, but you become
Shrinking.
president for all of the people. So I feel you have an obligation to do that. Now, she's
By the way, did anybody catch that basically he's saying that his base does not include black people? My base is not black people. That's basically what he's saying. Otherwise, why wouldn't he? Why would he say you become this for all the people, not just your base? So I did the black people a favor by going to this thing. Fucking subtle.
not doing anything. She's not doing any interviews because I don't believe she's capable. She starts, I don't know, she's strange. The whole thing is strange. Let's
Yeah, she's strange.
put it this way. Our country's in big trouble.
Yeah. I spoke to
Yeah, that settles it. Let's put it this way. Our country's in big trouble. Whew. Easy. Slow down with all the policy positions. I'm having a... Is someone taking notes?
your son, Don Jr., when I met you in Doral.
Right.
I spoke to Don Jr. a little bit. He said, man, I feel for the young generation. You guys are, look at this. Like, look what's going on here. Like,
Yeah, he was like, hey, I feel for you guys. Like, look, he was like, look, what's going on with the thing, with things, the way things are. I mean, for you guys, I don't even guess.
it's like you need these next 4 years. If not, he's like, I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years.
Just fine. I mean, we got through the Kennedy assassination, the Civil War, the Civil Rights Act, fucking the Iranian hostage crisis, the Cold War, the fucking Great Recession, AIDS, 9/11. Fuck off. Fuck you. Fuck you and your bullshit, red, white, and blue fakery. The shit this country has been through and still maintained its standing in the world, fuck you. Sorry, was that a little on the nose?
I don't think it survives. I really don't.
Damn.
Look, we're going to
And by it, he means him.
have 20 million people in by the time this election
Jesus Christ.
takes place. 20 million people. That's bigger than New York State. Many of those
Yes, I can also come up with here. How about this? 350 million people. That's bigger than the population of the United States. I know what you're thinking. You're like, but how? Prove it. Prove they're coming in. Why? I don't have to look. They say it's a number less than that. I say it's a number higher than that. Okay, we split the difference and go with my number.
people are people that you should not have, and we're all for everything, all men are created equal, as the expression goes, right?
Of course.
All man. How's the expression go? How's it? Real quick. Run that by me again.
Everything, all men are created equal, as the expression.
That's right. That's the expression. All man are created equal. Singular. Meaning, I guess, him. All man are created equal. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald John Trump. The best words. I don't even know how anybody can argue with it anymore. But that's the kind of stream this is. Best words, best stream. This is you're lucky to see it, and I was lucky to allow you guys to witness the best words actually happening.
We're all for everything, all men are created equal, as the expression goes, right?
Of course.
And now,
Of course, all man are created equal.
so they did say all men and women are
Yeah.
created equal. When
Yeah.
they wrote that, it was a slightly different time. Today, it's that alone is a politically incorrect
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah, it is.
So all men and
It
women
is.
are created equal, everything. But the fact is, when you're dumping all of these criminals and all of these drug dealers, all of these people into our country, you're really hurting our country badly. And it has to be, we have to take
What does that have to do with all men are created equal, or all men and women are created, all people are created equal?
very strong measures.
We definitely do.
You have to take, yes. Well, yeah, we're all created equal, but some animals are more equal than others, and we're going to have to take very strong measures. Death penalty for drug addicts is where he's going. Drug dealers and eventually the addicts, because they're the ones who put the dealers in business. I mean, they're kind of the innocent victims here, aren't they? It's the users that are causing this. You have to get rid of the problem take care of the cancer and do it quickly, just like I told Netanyahu during my peace deal idea around Gaza, which is carpet bomb the fucking place and pave it and then build condos.
Definitely do. Moving to the next. Oh,
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know they were allowed to applaud.
yeah, they're allowed to applaud. You guys can keep applauding.
All right, that's good. Common sense, right? You know, it is about common sense. I mentioned that term because whether you're conservative, liberal, it's all about common sense.
It is.
No, it isn't. Complex ideas are often made worse, more difficult, more complex, unnecessarily so, by a common solution. How about, I'll give you an example. Common sense says you fight fire with water. And then there's a grease fire, and you throw water on it, and what happens? Common sense got you killed. Common sense says throwing water on a fire is a good move. See what I mean?
You want to have good education. You want to have borders. You want to have low interest rates to be able to buy a house. You want to, so many different things. But you.
Right, but how you get there, like the border, for example, there was a bill, you killed it.
You got to have common sense. And
common sense would say that if there's an emergency, there's an invasion at the southern border, any fix is better than no fix at all. That's common sense. I mean, genuine common sense. No action is throwing in your lot with the status quo, which you say is an emergency. It's an invasion at the southern border. They are poisoning the country. This is an active thing. They're not just selling drugs to people. They are intentionally poisoning the children of this country. And if you could do anything at all, common sense would say, do it. If there's a better thing that comes down the road, do that then. But if you can get this done and save some lives, you do it immediately, right? That would be genuine common sense. So why kill the bill?
They're run by people. And, just a little thing. When I started campaigning almost like 8 years ago, I talked about Merry Christmas. We should have Merry Christmas again. Let's bring back Merry Christmas. You weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas.
You were absolutely allowed to say Merry Christmas. Honestly, this was such nonsense. What the fuck are you asking? By the way, he's Jewish. As an aside, I don't know what his religious practice is like, but he's Jewish. His parents are Jewish. They were there. His dad is looking at his mother while she claps, going, what the fuck are you clapping about?
It's a nice crowd, huh?
Even if you're Jewish, they like to say Merry Christmas. Everyone.
Do they?
One of my Jewish friends say, we love Merry Christmas.
I'm Jewish. I love Merry
Good.
Christmas.
And Kamala doesn't. Kamala,
she doesn't like it?
She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas.
Wow.
She thinks it's.
No, she wants to kill Christmas. She fucking hates Christmas. She hates working for that Catholic son of a bitch, and she's mad about it. And she's married to a Jew, and he hates it. He's one of the bad Jews that hates Christmas.
Insulting to use Merry Christmas, so we'll have to work on her.
I wanted to ask you a question. Speaking of, you said something about common sense, someone who has no common sense, Joe Biden. Do you think he was pushed out, or do you think he made the decision to step down?
No, he was not only pushed out, it was a coup. I'm telling you. They went in to see him. He did badly. The debate was a disaster.
Oh, it was horrible.
Okay. I don't know if I was brilliant or if he was horrible.
He was horrible. You sucked.
Maybe it was a combination of both.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I know one thing. They were saying after I left, they said, that was one of the greatest debate performances we've ever seen. And then 2 days later, they just said he was terrible.
Right.
They never gave. They
Right.
took away the great debate
No. They mentioned you afterwards. They mentioned that you lied your ass off.
performance stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I mean, I did fine, and he is. He shouldn't have. Look, he's done tremendous damage to our country. He was a terrible president.
Well, then you would have supported the quote unquote coup. What do you fucking put away your crocodile fucking tears?
He was the worst president we've.
If he's the worst president ever, then how is it a coup? Why isn't it just the 25th Amendment? Why aren't you just make the argument that they you know, they weren't going to allow, he's incapable of doing the job, and they didn't want to crash the economy or whatever, so they were trying to protect him, and they would, I mean, the stories are endless that you could paint around this idea, and the one that makes you look the least sympathetic is the one where he's a doddering old fool and you almost squeaked by, and now you've got to face somebody who can talk.
Ever had. She's, by the way, considered the most unpopular vice president we've ever had. But she's a.
Which is also just fucking nonsense. Like he just that one they're just making up.
Horrible. She's worse than he is. I actually think he's smarter than her, and I think he's
because he's old and white and male.
A really not smart person. But I think he's smarter than she is.
That's
but
like
she was convenient.
Wait, he's a really not smart person? Real quick. Run that by me again, dipshit.
Really not smart person. But I think he's smarter than her, and I think he's a really not smart person. But
I think he's a really not smart person. What the ever-loving fuck? Sure.
I think he's smarter than she is.
That's
But
like a
she
lot.
was convenient. She was there. They have better people. I mean, they have much better. In fact, all of the people that she's looking at are considered much better than her. These were people that were thinking about running. They would have run, except that they didn't want to go through this roadblock with her. And
Nope.
you know, because you're the vice president. So they wanted to go pick him. And I think virtually every one of
What? Why is there a roadblock for the vice president? Shit, your vice president couldn't even stop your supporters from wanting to hang him.
them is considered better, smarter, would be a better president than her. But we can't allow her to be president. She's going to destroy our country.
She'll ruin it. I mean, already it's ridiculous what she's saying. You know,
Yeah, like what? What's the most ridiculous thing she said? What would that be?
And by the way, the youth is so important because youth tends
Yeah, youth is important. I agree.
to be Democrat, and as they get older, they become Republican. That's what
No.
we can't wait 50 years. We can't. Make the move now. All of you young people, and he's got a lot of them. All I know is my kids say, Dad, you have no idea how big this interview is. I said, don't tell me that. But
What? What? Are you joking that you get nervous being on the interwebs?
make the move now. Don't wait 50 years. Our country doesn't have 50 years.
That's it. That's the. Whew. And I gotta say, you thought JP Mandela phone was shitty, was boring, was lost, was. I mean, that's the worst thing I've seen since the kidney.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Oh, I was worried. I was like, it was right here the whole time. Yeah, I gotta run. Love you guys. So tomorrow's show will be at a different time. I'm trying to work it out because I have to drive someone to the airport tomorrow, and it's a family thing. So it lands right in the middle of when my show would be. So I'll try and figure out, because it's about someone else flying in, and it's a very coordinated thing. So making sure that they arrive when they're supposed to for connecting flights and all that kind of stuff, it's a lot. So I'm going to be threading a needle tomorrow. So just know that I love you, and I will be on, but I'm not quite sure when. So I will post as early as I know, and more than likely, it will be about an hour and a half later than normal. Think of it almost like a Thursday show. just for travel time and stuff. That's the window that I think it's going to happen. So wish me luck. That's all I'm going to say. And other than that, I mean, what better way can we, bring to a close the single greatest live stream in the history of the internet? And you were there. Congratulations, audience. I think it's amazing. We had super chatters in here, fewer than normal, but that's okay. We had subscribers and fewer than normal, but that's okay. We had fewer than normal Facebook funny faces. I'm kidding. But that's fine. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for you to support the show and make it possible for me to do it. I was doing it for free, and I will continue to do it for free. You know I will do that if I have to. But if my stomach growling during the show bothers you, that's why. Can someone cue the AI-generated fake Sarah McLachlan weepy-eyed pet music for me? Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope it's playing in the background. I don't know for sure. But I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And if you ever feel, that you can ever, help the show out, it's just a thing you could maybe do if you feel like it. I don't know. It's fine. And also tomorrow is CSL's birthday. So happy birthday, CSL. And we'll see you tomorrow for... it'll be a little later in the day, but we will have some sort of a celebration. It's got to happen. All right. Love you guys. Bye.